one reckless confession.
Get caught robbing fucking idiots of their money.
And with that, the dominoes began to fall, bringing legal consequences for these financial manipulators. Meet the masterminds behind this operation. Edward Constantinescu, known as Mr. ZACK Morris, Perry P.J. Matlock, and Daniel Knight. Along with their accomplices, these guys were not just traders, they were puppet masters and master deceivers. With their massive following, they turned any penny stock into gold mines overnight. They flaunted their luxurious lives on social media, wealth that was built on the backs of innocent followers. They had no limits and even made fun of their followers.
Like what does is he alerts it, and then like 5 minutes later all his little minions start like retweeting it and saying added with him, so it like builds the hype back up. It happens every single time. They have this shit down to a fucking science. It's great.
From their podcast to their Discord server, they built a following of investors, hungry for the next big tip, thirsty for financial freedom and starving for a new life. What began as a group of traders sharing tips turned into an operation that defrauded thousands of innocent people. The leaders behind this case are Edward Constantinescu and Perry Matlock. Edward was born in Montgomery, Texas, and grew up in a modest household. He was always fascinated by the world of finance. Edward's motivation was clear: quick wealth and the power to influence. His charm and image of wealth quickly attracted a following on social media. He seemed like a modern-day Robin Hood with his giveaway posts. Using the name Mr. ZACK Morris, he positioned himself as a trading expert and the human ATM machine, ready to share his secrets with the world and even give back to charity. But he was nothing compared to his accomplice, Perry Matlock. Born in the Woodlands, Texas, and shared a similar drive for success, Perry was also drawn to the financial markets from a very young age. Perry boasted surreal gains and promises that made his followers fall in love with his posts. Perry Matlock's facade of instant wealth quickly amassed a devoted following, eager to live the lavish lifestyle he was marketing. But the duo's rise to fame wasn't just about trading. Edward and Perry, along with their Atlas Trading Group, showed off their wealth on social media, a lifestyle that many of their followers could only dream of, and a clever move that had people in the palm of their hands. But this was nothing compared to the intricate scheme they had devised behind the scenes. Under the Discord name, Atlas Trading, the gang carefully created a blueprint designed to take advantage of their followers' trust by pumping stocks to new heights before they crashed. And here is how they pulled it off. The process began by identifying a target, usually a penny stock with a low market cap and high volatility. Then, Edward and Perry, along with their group, would buy large volumes of that individual stock. Next, they spread the word across their social media platforms. Using their large followings, they hyped up the stock, making fake claims and setting high price targets. Unsuspecting followers who wanted the same success would instantly rush to buy the stock, driving up its price and volume, literally overnight. Then, at 3:37 p.m., deal posted. Volume is starting to come into pennies this week, and this is very cheap. On the daily chart, we have formed a double bottom. Last time it was at these prices, we went to $3, so that leaves a lot of range. With these false promises, the stock price went up. Edward and Perry sold off their shares and locked in their profits. Camber Energy is a great example of their sneaky strategy. Between September 1st and October 5th in 2021, Edward and his associates manipulated CEI, pumping the stock nearly 300% from its original price. During this period, Edward roughly made a whopping $4.3 million, while Hervatin made nearly $250,000 by pumping and dumping CEI stock. But it wasn't just about the money. It was about controlling their followers' desperate attempts at quick cash. Social media was the lifeline of their operations, and so they took advantage of their ability to drive huge price movements with organized tweets. And when their followers were left with empty pockets, Edward and his gang left with no one to be held accountable. Atlas Trading's manipulations weren't just a one-time thing. In 2021, the gang identified Torchlight Energy Resources as the perfect target. They bought large shares and then hyped the stock to their followers. The SEC reported that Hennessy promoted Torchlight's merger with Meta Materials, falsely claiming partnerships with Tesla and applications for fighting COVID-19, suggesting a $10 billion market cap potential.
That Meta and TRCH together, when they merge, is valued at $5 billion, because that's the amount of assets as of September 2020 that they had on the books. And TRCH has 25%. Okay, TRCH, even if their market cap is underneath $1 billion, is still undervalued.
By driving up Torchlight's stock price, they made a fortune. In February 2021 alone, Hennessy made $280,000, Matlock $338,000, Deal $148,000, and finally, Knight with $3,000. Then finally, in 2022, the SEC filed a lawsuit against the Atlas Trading members for a $100 million stock manipulation scheme. The guys faced serious charges. Now that the complex details of their scheme were finally under the spotlight, federal authorities were closing in. Atlas Trading was now on the brink of collapse, or was it? In December 2022, a federal grand jury held the 8 members of the Atlas Trading Group in question for their roles in a massive fraud scheme. Edward and Perry, along with their gang of influencers, face charges of conspiracy to commit securities fraud, each with a potential 25-year prison sentence. Their lawyers argued to throw out the case, saying that the group did not actually commit any recognizable crimes, meaning that to date there have been no laws set in place for this kind of offense. The court actually ruled in favor of the defendants, claiming that, quote, the allegations in the indictment did not meet the criteria for a scheme to defraud. This ruling effectively brought an end to the case against the Atlas Trading Group. While they were technically found innocent, the thousands of people who lost money due to their actions would likely disagree. But as the Atlas Trading Group took to social media to brag, thousands watched in horror as they've gained no closure for their losses. For now, the group remains uncharged and the legal battle is ongoing. Their hearing was ended with this quote: "This case has highlighted the vulnerabilities in our financial system and the dangers of blindly following influencers. It's a wake-up call for investors everywhere." Fast forward to May 2024, and the audacity of Edward Constantinescu still knows no bounds. Despite the legal battles, Edward has just launched a new crypto coin called ZACK, and his followers are still supporting his decisions despite his previous indictment. But here's the thing, they are making the same old moves, leaving investors with empty pockets with 2 clear-cut, hard rug pulls. It's a harsh reminder that even after being unmasked, the masterminds behind Atlas Trading are still at it, exploiting new ways to profit at the expense of their followers. The world of investing is risky, and the story of Atlas Trading serves as a powerful lesson. Remember that behind every tweet and post, there could be a hidden agenda. If you found this video interesting, please like and subscribe. Your support helps us share in-depth investigations and important stories. Make sure to follow Bill on Twitter to keep updated. His link is in the description below. Remember, this video is based on our research and opinions. Do your own research and form your own opinions.